A lot of organizations that we've spoken to in our polling are talking about revenue being the top goal for their businesses in 2012. And I think a lot of that is driven primarily because there are reduced margins on the product side of the business. And so nearly 33% of organizations we poll say that, because of reduced margins on where they've traditionally competed on the product side, that they're looking to new avenues for revenue growth. We're also seeing organizations on the service side are looking at improved revenue streams because increasing service costs have driven down service margins, so they need to look at revenue, sort of the top line, to balance out some of the increases in service costs. We're seeing increased investments in collaboration between service and different business functions. Actually, even within service functions like the field, the contact center, the parts management business, but even outside of that, the investments in collaboration between service, sales, product engineering, design, marketing, all of those different elements wrapped up together. We're seeing focuses in and between service and sales for improved upsell and cross-sell as well. And then finally, we're seeing an investment in technology to really provide a better scope of information to the entire service organization to be able to understand wherein they can make investments in revenue to drive better customer value. Our research has found that in nearly 50%, or maybe even a little bit more than 50% of service revenue is driven through service contracts. Now that could be net new contract sales or concurrent or existing revenue streams from existing contracts. So the renewal of those contracts becomes extremely important. And they also provide a very predictable stream of revenue. Now there are 3 or 4 things that are recommended or at least prioritized to drive new services and new revenue streams to these services. One is an investment in technology. We found actually more than 80% of organizations say that was the most important action to drive new services. And technology can range from basic support structures like billing systems, e-commerce systems, to things like analytics and better information, so as to understand where the customer needs these new services. So there's definitely a push towards analytics. We're also seeing an increased investment in collaboration around these new services. So it's between service, sales, marketing, and other teams such as product design and engineering, and understanding what attributes of the product or the service need to be leveraged for new service capabilities as well. It also promotes sort of the upsell and the cross-sell offerings within the service business. We found that the lack of collaboration, in fact, is a very significant challenge, not only in the growth of new services, but in the growth of overall service revenue. In fact, about 40% of organizations that we polled talked about the lack of a sales and marketing focus and a broader lack of collaboration is a significant challenge hindering their revenue growth prospects. So what we've really seen is the organizations that are successful, and the recommendations for organizations to be successful is really in breaking down the walls between service and other business functions, specifically sales, marketing, human capital, product design, product development, engineering. And when I say breaking down the walls, it's more than just handing over data to these other teams and saying, well, here's service performance, go make product improvements with it. It's really about a really more collaborative approach around looking at information. So that could be service information, that could be product information. It's also about sharing feedback, so customer feedback around the use of the product, the failure of the product. And then eventually around the sharing of systems and sharing of workflows between these different teams. So when I say collaboration, it's not just dumping data across, it's really about developing a collaborative approach around delivering customer value overall to the customer.